Stay for a second and watch. This. With 5 boiled potatoes, we're going to make something that looks store-bought, but is homemade. It's not a croquette, it's not a turnover, it's not a meat pie. But once you try it, you'll definitely make this recipe again. And the best part is, it's super easy. And today I'm going to use 5 potatoes, 40 grams of butter, 1 egg, a bunch of parsley, 200 grams of flour, which is about 1.5 cups, a teaspoon of baking powder, 400 grams of ground meat, 1 onion, and half a bell pepper. You'll peel the potatoes and also cut them into cubes. Don't make the cubes too small because otherwise they might fall apart when cooking. But make them relatively small, not too big. Why? Because they cook faster and that way you save time and energy. Here I have a pot that, as you can see, I covered so that the water starts boiling quickly. And then I add the potato. Simple and straightforward, everything here. You can also add some salt so it gets a little seasoned. While it cooks, parsley, a good handful, tightly packed and finely chopped so the pieces are nice and fine. I'm going to do the same with an onion, although I'll use this one at the end with the meat. I cut some strips and look, if I have it in strips, it's super easy to get very small cubes that almost fall apart. See? You cut the strips and that's it. Same operation that I do with half a red bell pepper. Although you can use green if you prefer, I love red, so I use red. Once the potato is cooked, you check how it is. Well, it's very easy. You take a spoon and poke it with a fork. If it falls apart easily, it's done. And now, we're going to make mashed potatoes. How? By draining the water from the potatoes but keeping them nice and hot. Add a couple of heaping tablespoons of lard and give it a good stir. And now let's mash them. I use an immersion blender, but you could do it in a regular blender without any problem. The point is to take your time and blend it well until you have a kind of uniform paste or puree, like the one you see here. It already smells good here, but wait until we add the parsley. Like I said, the parsley goes in to give it that extra touch. This just needs to be stirred a little, but you'll do it together with the egg, which you add directly while blending. That way it dissolves almost instantly, and you don't risk it cooking too soon from the heat of the puree. Once you have everything nice and creamy, you go over it again. And look at how great this texture is. What do we have left? Well, just add a touch of salt and pepper. You can do it with the potatoes at the beginning, but the advantage is doing it now. It's just that when you mix, you can taste it and adjust as you go. You'll never go overboard with the salt. All right, like I said, while it's hot, mix everything well. And now we're going to give it some body with 1.5 cups of flour. I use regular wheat flour, but you can use whichever you like. And a teaspoon of baking powder. Give it a few stirs and mix everything really well. Another option is to add a cup of flour, and then the rest. Just keep adding flour little by little if it needs it. That way, in the end, you get the same result. A kind of manageable ball of mashed potatoes. So keep turning it, we're almost there. But at the last moment, you have to give it the final touch by hand. It shouldn't be hard, it just has to be manageable. The trick is to do the final kneading on a work surface, with your hands dusted with a bit of flour. This is how you get the perfect texture, as you can see here. Then we divide it. And the easiest way is to cut it directly on top with a spatula. That's it. See? It cuts perfectly. I'm going to divide it into 4 more or less equal parts. And you can start flattening it so it takes the shape of a flat disc. Don't make things too complicated for yourself. Just stretch it out and leave it in this position while you prepare the rest, which is very easy. Large pan, a splash of oil, and I'm going to prepare the vegetables from before. That is the chopped onion I had here, and also half the bell pepper. I add it at the same time, just like that. No complications, over medium heat. And once it's in there, I stir it a few times every now and then until I see that the onion and peppers start to get a little soft. The time has come. Well, now we have to add the most important ingredient, which today is ground meat. I don't know if you like beef at home. If you prefer pork, or like in my case, a mix of both. But it's the same in both cases. You just break up the meat a little, salt, pepper, to your taste, and you cook it, stirring it from time to time, until you see the meat is how you like it. If you like it super crispy, cook it a lot, let it get really golden. But if you like it softer, cook it a little less. That's what cooking is. It's about enjoying yourself. Take your time and do things the way you like them. Remember to mix the veggies. That will make everything much juicier. That's why we add them. As you can see, I do it carefully, and I use a spatula, but any wooden spoon will work just fine. After a few minutes, look how good this looks already. It's ready to be the perfect filling. Keep in mind that you could change the filling for whatever you have on hand, but this way, it's amazing. We take the meat directly and put some in each of the balls. And how? Like this. You place it. Press down a little so the layer stays pressed and doesn't move around too much. That's an important tip. And you close the turnover. How? Well, it's very easy. You stretch the dough against the filling itself. If you do it with the help of a spatula, nothing will stick. And finally, you seal it with the help of a fork. If you see that it sticks a lot, moisten it a little. Look how beautiful this is. You can cook them in a pan, just like that, or even in the oven. But I like to bread them. This is totally optional. You take a couple of eggs, beat them well so you get a smooth mixture. And you dip each super potato turnover right in here. The trick is to make sure the entire surface is coated. So grab a utensil you can use to move it and give it a few turns so it gets completely coated. Look, a big one like this is perfect for me. Do it carefully, because right now the dough is still soft. Once it's coated, you put it on a plate, plenty of breadcrumbs, and that will give it the ultimate crunchy touch. It's the same thing. You leave it in the breadcrumbs, and you have to move it around so it gets coated with breadcrumbs everywhere. Once you have it completely covered like this, that's when you can cook it. In a pan over medium heat. And when it's nice and hot, you place this beauty in it. Once you see that the bottom starts to brown, which will take a few minutes, you'll obviously need to flip it. So you turn it over and wait for it to cook as well. On the other side, as you can see, after flipping it, you can take the opportunity to shape it a bit better. It'll still be soft and can be adjusted a little. Press down with two flat things that don't stick, like this slotted spoon and this spatula. That way the finish will be even more perfect. Once you've shaped it, wait until everything is cooked on the bottom as well. And when it is, look, cooked on both sides. You take it to the plate or tray, wherever you want to present this absolute beauty. This is crazy. You see, it's very easy to prepare, and they end up looking almost as good as they taste. Amazing recipe. These are the kind of recipes you make over and over again, and people keep asking you for them. And if you want to see the inside, check it out. Look how amazing it looks. Crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, and with a juicy filling. If you like the recipe, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date and keep seeing delicious things. And since we're among friends, tell me, what other filling are you going to try? I'm sure you've already got some ideas, and I'm happy to learn with you.